Now tuning in to Earbud Media. Audio for everyone.
I heard this really fucked up thing that if you hear the word salivate, you start to salivate.
I hate that. And also I am salivating. This is
so
the new,
powerful.
saying, Alexa on a podcast or something. It's just making your listeners forcibly salivate on...
You're all vampires now.
Yeah,
What's up?
sorry. Oh my god, why am I salivating? I can't stop because I'm thinking about salivating. I'm trapped in a loop. What have you done to me? You've cursed me.
I fucking broke you. Congrats. Now you're gonna have to deal with a wet mouth.
No.
How's it feel being a vampire?
I hate it.
Congrats.
I can see why Edward is just a little bitch about it. I get it. This shit sucks.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't know where I heard that today. I think it was a TikTok. And it just, seeped into my brain, and the first thing I thought is, yeah, I'm gonna use that to annoy Cody today.
I gotta whip this out.
I can't use it to, fuck with my students, and so I was like, yeah, I gotta use that. So, anyways, welcome to Into the Twilight. I hope that you're excited to be here. You're salivating. You're ready.
Yeah, we're here.
Yeah.
And our mouths are
queer.
So wet.
Yep. Cody, how the hell are you doing?
I'm doing alright. I'm vibing. I'm just, I'm maxing, relaxing, all cool. I've brought something to the space today.
Please.
It's my new little thing.
Oh my god. What is it? Is it a ghost?
Yes, I brought my ghost friend, and they'd like to say a few words. No, it's a show. It's a show about, hear me out,
ghosts?
making swords.
What?
You know of Chopped, right? You've seen Chopped. You're aware of the format of Chopped.
Cody, I've been watching Chopped since before you were born.
There's no way that's mathematically possible.
I was watching Chopped in utero.
Yeah, and pre-production. Before it even existed, I was plugged in.
Alex Cornicelli was creating Chopped for me, personally.
Alright, so we're on the same page about Chopped.
Is this like that glass-blowing show?
It's like the glass-blowing show.
What was that called? Blow Me or something?
I don't think it was called Blow Me. Blown Away. It was Blown Away.
I need to stop interrupting you. Okay, go.
Thank you. I just took 45 minutes to tell this goddamn story. Okay. It's a show. It's a reality competition show from the History Channel, out of all places.
Oh my god.
In which four blacksmith contestants, battle in a Chop-style format with 3 rounds to make the coolest, baddest sword / knife or whatever kind
Have
of
so
blade,
many
really.
questions.
Yes, please. Is
Is it timed?
Yes, it's 3 hours or something for each build.
Are they hot?
They're mostly old, scraggly dude, guys you feel would have lived on a ship for 20 years, that kind of vibe of dude.
I mean, that's hot.
I mean, sometimes every 5 episodes there's one woman that comes in and you're all right, let's go. But mostly it's a lot of the same kind of dude. And they do fun little they test and see how well the knife works, so they'll stack fucking 20 apples in a line and whack it around to cut all of them. Or they have these fucking body dummies that are totally clear but gushy, and they they're Play-Doh, and they just stab them in and cut ribs and stuff inside of it. It's insane. One time they shot bullets at a sword just to see if it would break or it would split the bullet. It was, oh my god.
My final question.
Yes.
Has Ms. Carly Rae Jepsen been on yet?
Oh my god, she needs to. Get her on.
Because, I mean, obviously, you know.
Right.
She has a sword.
Yeah, she
always needs a sword.
A sword that she was given in the city of Chicago, might I add.
Because obviously.
Of course.
Right. The only two things that I know about Chicago. That's amazing. And I'm so glad that you brought that to the space.
How are you doing, my dude? I know I dropped a lot of hot knowledge on you, but
That's unreal. Because I feel like I should have known that people were still making swords, but I falsely assumed that was something that only was made at, like, Ren fairs.
Right, yeah. You would think, but no.
But of course, blacksmiths were still, like, I don't know, chilling.
Yeah.
Existing.
We'll have to see just, like, an old trade from the before times, just really thriving, you know?
I feel like if I ever walked past a blacksmith, I feel like I couldn't. I feel like I might just drop dead. Because I don't know that I've ever been around someone that's just had that much just, like, raw power.
Right.
And just, like, skill before. That's wild. Thank you so much for bringing that to the space. What the fuck?
Yeah. It's been my little escape.
That's amazing. Now I'm going to change my happy thing for the week. I was going to bring I was going to bring just some fucking Flash games about Twilight, but, like, who the fuck cares? I have also been watching a show on the History Channel.
Oh, hello. We love two, like, educated podcast hosts. Two just, like, cultured, you know, individuals.
Yep. We, here in this home, for the past 2 weeks or so, have gotten very deep into a show that you might know called Alone.
Ooh. I think I've heard of it, but I don't know anything about it.
Oh, Cody. I'm so excited for you to learn about the show called Alone. Alone is the antithesis to everything that I am as a person, similarly to what it seems like this show that you are watching is.
Sure.
Alone is a group of around 10-ish individuals being put into a random, uninhabited environment with 10 items of their choosing and seeing how long they can survive in said environment.
I love this.
So the season that we started off with was this group of people were dropped in the middle of nowhere in Patagonia, and they could stay there for up to a year. And the goal was to stay there as long as they could on their own, for $500,000 being the prize. And the season that we're watching now is that they're in northern Mongolia trying to stay as long as they can. And they can bring, like, any 10 items that they want. Obviously, they bring, like, survival items.
Sure.
And it's the wildest shit I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah.
Like, because now, listen, I used to be a camping bitch back in my day.
Right.
Unwillingly, obviously.
Not by choice.
Listen, I would never get sand or dirt on me willingly.
Right, yeah.
But I did. But this is, like, nothing that I would have ever done. And it is so wild to see these people just living and vibing and doing this by choice. So I would highly recommend it if you want to watch something that is just so opposite to what we do on a daily basis.
I love a good survival show, you know?
Yeah, the reason we found out about it is, I guess, we're on season 5 now, but the season 6 and I guess onwards are on Netflix. But they get very wild from what we've heard. And so they are a would recommend.
I love that.
Not what I would do on a daily basis as I sit with, like, the opposite of what these people enjoy on a on a day-to-day.
Yeah.
But I can escape for sure. Talking about escapes, we've got so much to talk about
Oh my god.
this week.
Strap in.
We're just so stacked with news this week. First off is just a little refresher on good old Jamie Dornan.
He's still here.
He's still
He's still kicking.
alive.
Yeah.
He's still doing well, it seems.
Haven't checked it on his Instagram lately. I'm sure he's posting very cursed content still.
Yeah, I haven't. I choose not to check.
I pretend I do not see it.
Right. By the time that you all are listening to this, his latest movie will be out.
Hell yeah.
Which,
Sure.
wow. I remember that we talked about this a while ago.
Yeah. Because it's him and Shailene Woodley that's basically just Anastasia Steele.
Yes, exactly. It's called Endings, Beginnings. I remember we talked about it a while ago. But for us, it'll be out on Friday. For you all, it'll already be out. And I will definitely be watching it. I don't know how soon. Maybe we'll do a something with it.
A little something.
A little something.
A little something.
But yeah, with this still that they chose, of Shailene Woodley against this tree, I swear to, it looks like Dakota Johnson.
Like, you don't even have to squint for it to look like her.
You don't.
It just, it's her. That's her.
Yeah. The casting director was like, we would like Dakota Johnson, but I know that we cannot put these two together again because we will get sued.
Yes, absolutely.
I am intrigued, but I'm not in any rush.
Yeah. It can wait, you know? There's no urgency here.
We also have some RPATS news. Would you like to share with the class?
I would like to share with the class. I would like to share with the class that Robert Pattinson is a fucking liar.
I love him.
I know, I love him. This comes from a place called Dev Discourse.
Is this your side blog?
Yeah, it's my side blog. It's my cool little side blog where I just shitpost about Robert Pattinson.
Cool.
And it's Tenet news. We love Tenet news because we're never gonna see Tenet ever.
Yep.
That's just how.
Same as the Kristen Stewart's holiday movie that we'll never get to see.
Seriously. It's like, that is far more offensive that we're never gonna fucking see that Happiest Season movie. Tenet, I'm like, whatever. I would like to see it.
At least you know with Tenet, it's a big budget film.
Right.
They'll release it someday.
Yeah.
With Kristen Stewart's movie, they might never release it.
It might never happen.
It's fine. It's fine. I'm not angry about it. It's fine.
Anyway, so we're talking about Tenet because we can't talk about the movie Tenet because we haven't seen it. But people are gabbing. And Robert did an interview with the Irish Times. And said that he basically was not there during sets for periods of time and said it was because a family emergency. And it turns out it was not that.
Fuck it, dude.
He's you know what? Don't show up to work.
He had pasta priorities, you know?
Right. He's like, sorry, dude, I gotta audition for the Batman. I'm not gonna tell you that, though. Because I'm supposed to be working on this movie. But I also want to be the Batman. And also I want to make really scary pasta.
I love that for him.
Yeah, honestly, shoot your shot. It worked out,
I love
it?
a working man.
Right. He's hustling. You respect the hustle.
Yeah, I mean, they wanted him in both movies, and rather than the higher-ups communicating and working that out for him, he had to figure it out on his own. So what that he had to lie?
Listen.
Not his fault.
Yeah.
I respect it. Listen, it's not Robert's fault, okay?
No, it's not her fault.
I just want to sidebar really quick that I recently on our Twitter, we had asked, like, is there anyone that you would like to see here on this podcast? And someone had the fucking audacity to be like, we would like to see Robert Pattinson on this podcast. And, like, obviously.
Right.
Same.
Yeah.
But can you just imagine? I would have to atone for all of the things that I have said in these past 4 years alone.
Yeah, we'd have to delete everything. We'd have to start
literally
over.
everything.
Burn the archives.
That would have to be our first episode as far as everyone is concerned.
Yeah, absolutely.
And honestly, and our only episode as far as I'm concerned, because I would be fucking dead in a ditch somewhere. And you know what?
Right.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine.
All I have to say to that person is same, but also shut your mouth.
Yeah, shut your goddamn mouth.
I can't think about it anymore.
No, I'm tired. I can't do it.
I'm too tired.
Yeah, head crowded. No more thoughts. No more.
I can't think anymore. Speaking about thinking, we have a listener question. Would you be willing to read our patient question?
I absolutely would.
Do you remember when that happened? When did that fake French thing happen?
What fake French thing?
When did our patron questions become patron?
Oh, that was
When
only
did that-
you. I have never said that. Only you say patron. That is a you thing. If anything,
No,
I
stop.
should be asking you why you started saying patron. I have not once.
No,
Roll back
stop.
the tapes. I've never once said it like that.
No, stop, Cody.
No, I will not stop. It's the truth.
I gotta go. Anyways.
But, like, if you find out, let me know. Like, I'm curious. But, like...
Stop. Anyways,
our patron, Alex, asks, I'm trying to prove that I'm Edward Cullen as a discussion topic for my new therapist. I looked up his birth chart and was wondering what you guys thought of it. First of all, I don't
Alex, are you okay?
First of all, Alex, are you good?
First of all, Alex, is there a therapist?
Are we the therapist? You can tell
Alex,
us, but I
this
don't
is
think
a
we're
safe space.
qualified. No, I love that. There's so many layers. I love the idea of going to your therapist and being like, okay, here's a way for you to better understand me and the stuff going on in my brain. Are you familiar with Edward Cullen? Like, that is beautiful. I love that. I love it.
And I get it, and I respect it, and I understand.
Sure.
But also, Alex, if there isn't a therapist, it's also okay.
It's fine. It's okay.
I'm just looking at this page. Alex, where the fuck did you find this? Because I'm looking at this website, and I have never been more confused about these sidebar images in my whole goddamn life.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot.
Edward's natal chart, it looks like, was posted on here by Sappher Queen. So thanks for doing that work. There are a couple of things that I feel like we already knew. Obviously that he was a Gemini. He is son of Gemini. Right off the bat, are there any things here that don't surprise you, I guess?
I mean, the Mercury and Venus in Cancer. Not a surprise in sight.
The fact that he has a Venus in Cancer and a Mercury in Cancer does not surprise me at all. He is this blushing motherfucking bride.
Virginal boy.
Yeah, that does not surprise me at all.
Yeah. Also, all this Capricorn does not surprise me, I don't think.
Just a stubborn motherfucker.
Stubborn, moody, fiery boy.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me. I don't respect it, but I see it.
Yeah.
What I did not expect was his moon in Leo.
That is something else.
It is freaking my bean. Now, here's the part where I personally feel very called out, is that his ascendant is in Scorpio. And as someone that also has a Gemini sun and an ascendant in Scorpio,
Yeah.
I have to say I agree.
I'm sad to say it's true.
I have to say I agree.
Listen, if you need proof that astrology is real, this is it.
Now, I choose not to, listen, I don't accept Edward as one of my own because he's a June Gemini, and June Geminis are different. But
we're cut from a different cloth.
they are different people.
Yeah.
They express themselves differently. And that's okay. It's just different. What I think is very interesting is, this combination to me of, like, lots of Cancer. So we got just, like, sad baby bitch boy.
Yes.
And Capricorn of, like, oh, but I'm also stubborn. And then Leo of, like, oh, but I also have to be prideful and, like, rawr.
Right. Rawr.
But, like, the way that, like, TikTok does it of, like, rawr.
Oh, no.
Honestly, I see it. And I get it.
This adds up into the
makes
complicated boy that is Edward Cullen.
Yeah, if you throw that all into a blender, you do get the sad boy who listens to one day a really sad CD and one day a really angry CD.
Yeah.
If this is you, Alex, and you are talking to your, and I'll say this in quotes, therapist, about this, I just want to say that I'm sorry, but I do believe in you, and change is possible, you know?
I can't wait for Alex to play this entire episode to their therapist and just clown us.
You know, with a Mercury in Cancer, there is a lot of possibility there to be incredibly nurturing.
Yeah,
and
sure.
all I would recommend, Alex, is what if you turn that nurturing to yourself instead of others?
Oh, hey.
What if?
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
What if instead of being self-sacrificing, you're kind instead?
Now, follow-up question. What if God was one of us?
Fuck off, Cody. Why do I never see it coming? God damn it.
It's never not funny. It's never not funny.
All right. Would you like to talk about our chapters for the week?
I suppose.
So, very interesting collection of chapters for this week. One of a new from Edward's side of a chapter we've already read before. The titular Van chapter. And then a new chapter.
Hot off the presses.
Just from Edward's side. Initial hot thoughts. It sounds like a fucking, like, Krispy Kreme advertisement.
Hot thoughts. I don't know if any of my thoughts are particularly hot.
Hot off the press thoughts about the Van chapter.
Ugh.
What'd you think?
Well, it's just, now that we're really getting into it, it's good to, like, be constantly reminded that Edward sucks, both as a narrator and as, like, a person in general. So, like, all of the, like, gaslighty things and all of him just being, like, trying to talk himself in circles to be, like, a quote-unquote good person, but still, like, totally just, like, lead people astray. It's good, good, wholesome fun for the whole family.
Yep, like Disneyland. Just good, wholesome fun, folks. I agree. Initial thoughts on this. Mm-hmm. In the, like, difference from Twilight and also from, like, the original leaked manuscript, bugging leaked draft number 4. Way more Carlisle. And also, way more, like, gay thoughts about Carlisle.
It's a bit horny.
I
agree. There's tension. First of all, love hearing more from Carlisle. Love that.
It needed.
Yeah.
Some might say.
My crops are watered. Like, I feel good. I feel nourished, you know, like I feel fed. But the way that they talk to each other is weird, and it's like oddly paternal, but it's also oddly sexual.
I agree. And it is, from what I have heard from people, this is kind of a throughout thing, which, again, don't hate. It's just an interesting choice from Stephanie, I would say.
Fellas, is it gay to talk to another dude inside of your brain? And also, he might be...
Fellas?
Also, he's kind of your dad, but, like, not really. You know? Like, is it gay? Is that gay?
Fellas, is it gay that your only father figure is someone that you love, but, like, capital L love?
Like...
Fellas?
Love, you know? Like, love in italics, you know? Like...
Fellas, is it gay that if you could dream, but you don't dream, that the one that you would dream about is your dad? Fellas?
But he's also, like, you know, like, he's, like, a hot doctor, so it's, like... like, no homo, but, like, come on.
Fellas, is it gay to hurt yourself just so that your hot doctor dad fixes you up?
Yeah, fellas, is it gay to deny medical treatment from people on site at an accident and go, no, I have to go to my dad?
All I'm imagining is Edward, just, like, fucking hurting himself, and then that doctor from Twilight and Forks being like, oh, it's okay, Edward, I'll help you. Carlisle's in surgery right now, and Edward throwing that man against a wall and being like, fuck off.
Yeah, get out of here.
I only trust my dad.
Sorry, you're not my freaking dad, so...
I only trust my father, actually. Oh my god. So, this is rife throughout this chapter.
Yeah.
And it starts off, like, from the get, that Edward is deciding to go hunting again, just to try and ignore Bella. Because, sure, he's just going out to the animal bar just to get lost in it. Just going to drink with his dad. Carlisle, like, touches Edward's arm and is, like, reminded of how much it hurt him when Edward left. And Edward's like, is it gay if your dad is sad when you left and it hurts you, but, like, a little too much? Anyways,
don't worry about it. I'm cool. It's so good.
Anyways, if you could cry, would you cry right now? But it's, like, cute, though.
Yeah, no, it is
I love
cute.
Carlisle.
And he's like, man, I miss you, bud. And he's like, I missed you. Fuck. Shit.
And they're... the fucked up thing is that you know that they're, like, super speeding in the woods right now, and they're just talking, but for them, that's, like, whispering.
Just a dulcet mumble. A quiet little mumble between...
And the birds are like, what the fuck is happening right now? Anyways, so they talk for a second, but then nothing really happens. Because Edward's like, I don't want to talk about this right now.
I can't. I have too many feelings that I don't have figured out yet.
Yeah. So he does decide to eventually go back to school for the next day. He's icy, but also the world's icy. And it's all just very rife with symbolism. And this is the day of the van scene.
The reckoning.
The reckoning. But the thing that's really fucked up is before this happens, as it happened, like, in Twilight, but also in the movie, the clones are all standing out in front of their car. But we get to see Edward's perspective, and in his head, he's like, why the fuck is everyone going so slow?
Right. Like, don't you see there's something going on? She's gonna get hurt.
And he doesn't realize, like, it takes him a second as he's judging everyone to be like, oh, there's ice on the ground. And he's like, well, I just don't understand why they're going so slow. Right. So obviously, like, he's watching Bella as she gets out of the truck and just, like, fucking chilling and taking her forever.
In the most detail you could possibly do.
Literally pages.
He's
Takes
just
him
standing
pages.
in a corner watching every mundane, boring ass move that Bella takes, which is many because it's Bella. Like, oh, she tests the fucking ice and like goes back in and goes back out and goes a little slow and almost slips. Uh-oh. It's like, okay, got it. There's ice on the ground. Let's go.
And she looks at the tires and starts crying,
Right.
and I don't understand why.
And she looks at the ground and not at me, even though I'm like hidden
Fucking-
in bushes, basically. Like,
And she can't see me from that far away.
Yeah.
What the hell? So anyways, Tyler, as we all know, rounds the corner, and obviously Edward can't stand for that, so he zooms over.
yeah.
And this is my favorite part to know from Edward's perspective, because from Bella's, she is all like head empty, no thoughts during this. But from Edward's perspective, there's so many thoughts happening. But even with his most careful, he still like throws her fucking head against the pavement. And all I can imagine is her just being this like bouncy ball.
Yeah.
And even though he's trying, the way that he describes it is that she has this like magnetic pull to the ground, and he just cannot keep her from just crashing her skull.
Right.
And he's like, God, fuck. He even makes a point to be like, a word I've never said before in the presence of a lady slid before my clenched teeth. And I'm like, dude, what the hell did you say?
Yeah, it's like, did you swear?
What did you say? But what'd you,
What did you
say?
Hey, Steph, there's 650 pages of this. You couldn't have fit a word in there?
What were you afraid to say, Stephanie? That you couldn't have put, like, asterisks in?
Why are you censoring yourself, Steph?
I
How bad
just
is it?
one
Is
bit
it
of-
moist? Like, is it just like a gross word?
Yeah, maybe Edward's version of cursing is just, like,
Yeah.
ASMR or something.
Right. Like, what?
Just something really vulgar.
Steph, it's okay. Like, this was... You could have put anything.
He's like 100 years old.
Right.
Maybe it's just really racist.
No.
That's why.
No.
I mean, knowing Steph, like, honestly,
Listen.
or just, like, really homophobic.
Yeah, sure.
Let's be honest. Maybe it was for the... You know what? Maybe
He's
it was
got a
for
lot
the
of
best.
internalized stuff going on, you know?
He's dealing with a lot of stuff right now.
He's like grabbing
yeah.
Bella and trying not to make her like crash her fucking skull open, and he's like, "No homo."
Stop! No! But yeah, anyways, so Bella's fine, obviously. We all know the story.
Yeah.
And he's doing the whole, like, Bella, are you alright? And she's like, oh yeah, I'm fine. I'm good. Even though she's, like, obviously very not good.
Yeah, concussed.
My favorite part, and even this was in Twilight, it was in all the movies, is he's like, Bella, your head, like, you're not good. And then she does the, like, oh, my head. Fucking Bella, just like...
In what universe
Adrenaline.
would that be a thing ever? Like, wow, I didn't think about the intense throbbing pain.
The only thing I can think of is it just... adrenaline.
Sure. The rush.
Or, yeah, just... He was just dazzling her.
Right.
Ugh.
Stop.
Anyways, listen, I'm just trying to give them the benefit of the doubt, but I
will
don't
not
know.
let you dazzle this podcast. I will not let you do it.
That's fair, honestly. The one thing that I wish had been included in the movie, but I understand why, is that I love that in the book, Bella is carried away in a neck brace,
Yeah.
and she is just throwing daggers. She hates the whole thing about
She's
it.
so pissed.
So pissed.
I love, too, that, like, you know, I obviously miss Bella's own little POV sometimes, and her, because, like, her, especially for this scene, she's very, like, aggressive in her thoughts.
Yes.
Because she's like, fuck this, fuck you, this sucks, I'm fine, don't talk to me, don't touch me, what the fuck's going on? Are you some kind of wizard? What's going on? But, like, you still kind of get it here, too, where it's like, Edward is clearly picking up on the vibes of her being like, bro, what the fuck? This sucks. I hate you. What's going on?
Yeah, he's always like, oh, I can never read her thoughts, but her body language is very clear.
Yeah, she's clear. And she will, like, also say her thoughts. She will vocalize them.
Yeah, exactly. This is also the first time that Edward picks up on Charlie and him having the shield.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic. A very interesting choice that Stephanie has chosen to do, and I wanted to know your thoughts on this. That I realized that his anxiety and concern were not wordless. I just could not hear the exact words. It was something that I'm pretty sure was not included in the partial draft.
Right, yeah.
Because I feel like folks would have been, like, up in arms about it. I personally love this choice of making sure that it's like a genetic line that they put here.
Yeah, absolutely.
That it is not the exact same kind of like power that Bella has. But I do like the idea that it's similar to what Bella has, which is interesting.
They got, listen, shared vibes, shared synergy here.
Yeah. That it's not that he is just like, I don't know. I like the idea that when Edward looks at him, it's not that he gets the vibe of what's going on. And I feel like that, I don't know. I think that it makes a lot more sense that it's not just Bella. Because when we get into breaking down part 2, when Edward finally vocalizes it, that in the movie anyways, that he hadn't come across shields like her before.
Yeah.
I feel like that is
like
what he's referring to.
Yeah. Interesting.
And I feel like probably also other shields.
Yeah.
But I think I thought that it was an interesting twist that they included.
Little twist?
Just a little
shield twist?
Yeah. When they finally, the EMTs finally leave and stuff, and this is the part where it actually gets into Carlisle, which, like, finally, the good shit. There's a lot of Edward finally, like, he's very panicked, of course, and trying to make sure that Carlisle, of course, is the one that ends up seeing Bella, which, of course, he does.
Yeah.
But I think that it's quite interesting the way that they end up talking to each other. And Carlisle, of course, is ever the one that is, like, consoling, which I appreciate.
Right.
It's just it felt very in character, which I enjoyed. And then just getting the rest of the hospital scene from Edward, which I didn't find the rest of this to be very surprising.
No, it's pretty exactly the same.
Yeah, it felt like most of this we could kind of pick up from Bella's perspective.
Right.
And so it's not that I didn't hate, I don't know. I just felt like it was pretty understandable.
Yeah.
And then the chapter ends with the gaslighting scene.
Our favorite.
The first of many.
Right, it definitely won't be the last.
No, with just
you think I lifted
Edward.
A van off of you? No one's gonna believe you. So
nope.
Which is like not a good. I wouldn't say that if I was just trying to be like, oh, that's so silly, you know? Because it's like, oh, you thought I lifted a van? Like I could never. That's impossible. But being like, no one's gonna believe you. It's like, that's a little bit, that makes it seem like you did do that, actually. You're not good at this gaslighting thing.
Yeah, that's an admission, actually.
Actually, in the court of law, I think that means you did do it.
So, do better,
Edward,
actually. Thank you, though. But yeah, so chapter 4 is that new.
That hot content, baby.
So, rather than Bella at this time was still in the hospital, and then back home. We get Edward at school at this time.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, every other classmate is in that hospital.
Yes. The only him and the rest of the Cullens are just at school. No one else is there.
Vampire school.
Not suspicious at all.
Yeah.
And super chill. What Edward comes to find out is that fucking Jasper is about to lose it and is like, you know what? Fuck this. Mm-hmm. Bella's out of here. I'm done with this. And Rosalie is on his side too. And Edward, of course, is like, no. Yeah. And so we've got a house split at this point. And Edward has quickly decided, even though he won't tell Bella this to her face, is that he is going to fight for her against his family. And what this comes down to is that they're going to have a fun little family meeting about this. Very civilized of them, sure.
Right.
And so after school, they come home and they go to their dining room table and they have a good old discussion about this. What's interesting is that rather than this being in New Moon, at the end of New Moon, rather, this is just bumped, I guess, and this happened very early on in Twilight.
Mm-hmm.
So we've seen this. It was just way earlier on than we thought. We get a lot of good Esme content in this chapter, which I appreciated.
A lot of good Esme content. A lot of good Emmett content.
Yes, there's a lot of good Emmett content in this book in general, which I appreciate personally.
He's just, every time it's just like him yelling in Edward's brain. It's always. That's the only time we hear from him. It's him just being like, Edward, get a grip. it's like, oh, there's Emmett. He's here.
I appreciate him. I adore him.
Yeah.
I love him.
Yeah.
Yes, he deserves it all. But yes, when they get home, Esme immediately is like on Edward and is already sad. Yeah. And Edward's like, well, fuck. Like, God damn it. And so Esme and Carlisle are seated at one side of the table. Edward goes to that side. And Rosalie and Jasper and Emmett are seated at the other side, very clearly choosing their alliances. And Alice sits near Jasper, but like essentially in the middle. And then they essentially have the same conflict that they had in New Moon, where there's this problem, obviously, where Rosalie is like, so fix this.
Hey, you gotta not endanger us.
Yeah, please don't do this. And Edward is like, well, it's fine. She just, like, won't say anything. And Rosalie's like, well, how can you guarantee that, though? You don't know her mind.
Right.
And Edward's like, well, fair point, but what if you trust her, though? Whereas Jasper and Rosalie could not give a shit.
Jasper's like, absolute, I will go feral right now. I'll do it.
Fuck this, fuck her, fuck you.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No. Actually, no. We will... I hate that, actually. The options that are being provided here are like, kill her so we can stay, or change her so we can stay. And Edward does the equivalent of like, no, with a heart. He's just like, no.
No. Like, I'm picking up what you're putting down, but I will just toss it into the trash.
Yeah. I choose not to see.
Yeah,
actually.
I actually do not see this. I do not see
it. And realizes, like, as Alice is having this vision, that there are several things that she sees. One, that she's going to become, like, best friends with Bella. And also that Edward is going to, if not already in love with her. And also that she sees Alice, like Alice sees her and Bella like best friends,
Right.
and Bella changed next to her. And Edward just like fucking flips a table and is like, how dare you, like, don't manifest this next to me.
Yeah.
He's just absolutely pissed off about this when obviously it's the only option,
Right.
my dude. And so Edward, as usual, gets pissy about it and just runs away. He's just like, I love her. I will fight you all for her, but I won't do anything to change it.
Right.
So I'm just going to run away.
As
instead.
I do with most of my problems, you know? Just
Right.
ignore it.
Just ignore
Just
it.
pretend it didn't happen.
So he just runs away until he can see the Puget Sound. And I am also looking at the Puget Sound right now, which is weird. But it's fine. And he's just sitting there in the rain, all alone, like a fucking Maroon 5 music video. And just crying about a future that he will have
Yeah.
and wants to change, but won't change.
Love that.
Knowing more about his birth chart, it makes a lot of sense.
The picture
folks.
is further filled in, I would say. It's I
agree.
I feel it. I see it.
I also see it. It makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
And I wish, you know what? I'm glad I didn't look it up earlier because maybe it was meant to be.
Yeah.
Next week,
Ooh.
folks, we have chapters 5, which is Blood Type, and chapter 6, Melody.
Hello.
And we have those chapters, and we are not doing them alone.
We are not.
Who are we doing those with, Cody?
We're doing it with writer aficionado and Twilight fan, Abby Montiel.
Finally. I'm incredibly excited for you all to hear and enjoy the guests that we have lined up for you all.
Yeah.
And this is the first of many. I'm giddy with it. I'm very excited.
Yeah. It's gonna be
Um,
lit.
It is. I'm very yes. I have an idea for you. I assume, but I don't want to assume. Do you have the book copy that you were reading
I do.
from?
Yes, I'm holding it now fondly. Have we done a Reductress recently?
We haven't.
Let's do it.
Why don't you go first?
Sure. Shout out Alexandra Black,
Pew pew pew. Welcome.
who's gonna be news. Women misses being in the way at bars.
Oh my god. That face is me.
Yeah.
Shout out to our upgrading patron,
Ooh.
Alex Dornan.
Bwah, bwah, bwah.
Who's gonna be 5 buildings that are penis, but it's okay. Penis is not bad.
Nice. Shout out Carrie Goldberg.
Pew pew pew.
Who's gonna be? I just want quarantine to be over so I can go back to sucking froyo directly out of the machine.
Stop.
I miss it. Get me back there.
Oh. Fuck, dude. Okay. Shout out to Mickey Meyer.
Bwah, bwah, bwah.
Who's gonna be help. I lied on my resume and now I'm a substitute music teacher helping my class win Battle of the Bands.
Oh my gosh, so good. Shout out to Maggie Quinn,
Pew pew pew.
who's gonna be Toy Story 5. This woman's strap-on came to life when she was at work.
Oh no. Shout out to Katie Weber.
Bwah, bwah, bwah.
who's gonna be bed, unsure how much longer it can bear weight of acting as desk, dining table, and movie theater.
Fuck yeah. Shout out Zoe Steele.
Pew, pew, pew.
Who's gonna be 4 incredible female skateboarders who can kickflip and everything, you uncoordinated bitch.
Stop. No. Shout out to Rebecca Cullen. And Rebecca, you are obviously going to be how I learned to love my body even though I'm the second body in a human centipede.
Oh no.
We can all do it.
Oh,
it's okay.
It's true. Shout out Elizabeth Swan.
Pew, pew.
Who's gonna be 6 sexy train conductors that say choo-choo, all aboard my dick.
Oh no. Shout out to Amy Taylor. Who's gonna be public health hero? Woman spends half of migraine explaining how bad migraines feel.
Oh, fuck yeah. Shout out to Mulch Gray.
Mulch Gray.
Who's gonna be why I'm refusing to vote unless I can do it by text like American Idol.
Oh no. Oh no. Shout out to Taylor Browntown Walker.
Yes.
Taylor, you are going to be teen mom. This 29-year-old just had a baby.
Hell yeah.
I feel very called out by that one. And I'm not even pregnant.
Right, it's just your brand though, I feel, in some way.
I just see all of the people that I went to high school with having kids, and I'm like, what the fuck? You're so young.
Right.
What are you doing?
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out Kelly Beck.
Pew, pew, pew.
Who's gonna be why are men judged on their potential and I'm judged on that time I keyed Dylan's car?
Honestly,
let's talk about it.
That's a really great point.
Let's talk about it. Let's have that conversation.
Shout out to Aaron Salinger. Who's gonna be theater kid, now data entry grown up.
Fuck yeah. It's a pathway, you know, that happens.
It
too
is.
Easily. Shout out Sophia Salinger.
Pew 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 pew.
Who's gonna be 4 girl bosses who are driven by fear of death.
Wow.
Boing,
boing. Could you tag yourself, please and thank you?
I sure can, because I still have the page open. So
wow,
take
growth.
That. I'm really feeling 6 gazebos that really say "fuck walls."
Whoa!
That's the energy I'm bringing to the space.
This Reductress article looked in my soul, and I've never seen something so personally targeted, and I hate that.
Yeah.
This one is how to enjoy WAP even though your antidepressant gives you DOP.
No!
And
Listen,
that
shit happens.
is it.
Yeah, that's all, folks.
And that's it. Cody, I have a fan fiction for you today.
Mm-hmm.
I did not find this fan fiction for you today. Fucking Taylor Browntown Lauder.
She's at it
sent
again.
this fan fiction. The menace known as Taylor sent this fan fiction in, and I think it's been a while since this happened. This is not a Twilight related fan fiction.
What?
However,
The cardinal rule.
This, however, this is a 2012 era related fan fiction.
Oh no.
So there is some grace to that.
Okay, sure.
This is called I need to be serious. This is called Raccoon Direction.
Mm-hmm.
And it is titled Titanium, or it's written by Titania.
Okay.
And this was published in the year of our Lord, 2020,
Oh, no.
about 2 weeks ago.
Why?
Here are some of the tags before I get to the summary. Here's some of the tags for you. AU, raccoons, freeform, tax fraud, wildlife vigilantism, satire. I wish I didn't have to clarify this point, but this is not furry porn. It's not even furry adjacent. It's just an exploration of their lives as raccoons. A thought experiment, if you will. A thought experiment that manifests in 2,300 words worth of shitting on Simon Cowell.
Whoa, what happened? Where am I? What did you just do? Did you just transport me? What's going on?
So the summary of the story, Raccoon Direction, is
no.
what if the gentlemen of One Direction weren't gentlemen at all, but rather raccoons?
Why?
That's a great fucking question, Cody, and I'll be reading a selection of this for you today.
Every day we stray further and further from God's life.
Here's a selection of this for you. And I won't be doing accents because I'm not getting paid.
Yeah, no. Definitely don't have to.
I mean, we are getting paid.
Please
for
don't
our
put
patrons, but
yourself
like,
and also me through that. Thank you.
That's right. That's right. Okay. Why do you think Simon hates us digging through his trash so much? Zane asked. The 5 of them were snuggled up in their burrow like a set of nesting spoons. Liam's tail curled up over Zane's waist as if to soothe away his question, and Zane frowned, stroking its new bald spot absently. It's literally garbage. Not exactly like he's saving it for later, is it? People get funny about their trash, Louis said. He tucked his little nose into the fur at the back of Harry's neck and exhaled as hard as he could. Harry squirmed against him, giggling. A lot of the time, it feels like they have something to hide, just like Louis. As Harry snuggled back against him, Louis ran his hand down Harry's front, making sure he wasn't cuddled up against Zane. End scene. I need to get baptized again.
No, it's too late. It's too late. There's nothing
That's
we can
fair.
do. There's no amount of forgiveness.
That's fair.
That's it. That's, it's not the worst thing I've heard, but it is very bad and I hate it. So, thank you.
Taylor, I hope you're happy.
Taylor, why?
The explanation that was provided to me through email from Taylor to justify her actions is that she found it on TikTok.
Oh.
And that's not a good enough excuse.
No, I mean, I get it, but also...
A lot of us find things on TikTok that we choose not to share.
Yeah. But no, I hope you're happy.
Anyways. I'm gonna go eat some Blood of Christ wafer crackers that I ordered on Amazon for this very moment. Anyways, as we say here in the West Coast,
get big.
West Coast, and get
and don't get rabies, I guess. Do you get rabies from raccoons?
Oh my God! Don't get rabies.
Don't do it.
Please.
Don't do it. Into the Twilight is an Earbud Media production. Our theme music is by Eli Krauss, and our artwork is by Maddie Padilla. Follow the show on Twitter at Into the Twilight, and support us on Patreon at patreon.com/intothetwilight. Send us an email or a fanfiction at intothetwilightshow@gmail.com. You can find Allie at Into Wild Places and me at Cody Crow.
You've been listening to Earbud Media Production. Earbud Media, audio for everyone.